Hello, welcome back to my Devlog series about my new game, Project Legion, which is a FPS sci-fi survival horror game. Now, the new things that I've done is, that I wanted to showcase to you is the per bone damage system that I will be using for the enemies. It is basically what it says it is. Right? It's a damage system that calculates the damage based on the parts of the body that you have hit, and also it simulates the impact. It simulates the impact uh, on that part of the body. So let me showcase it to you. So as you can see, when I shoot the leg, it reacts. So almost every part of the body reacts to it. There's certainly physics constraint, the eye case and stuff that goes into it, but I won't be going too much into the technical details. As you can see in the left top corner, there's prints about bone it hit and how much damage it deals. So if I was shooting the head, you can see it's 50 points of damage. So it will die almost instantly. There is also a particle and a decal system for the hit that will be working based on the surfaces that you have hit. So let's say if I hit but it's like a concrete surface, it will display this kind of a decal. Like, cause the art is still in the prototype mode. It's just like simple materials that I'm using for now, and both the particles and the materials for the decals can be different and customized. But this is supposed to be a metal, and if you see when I shoot it, it will spawn a different decal. The particles for now are all same, but they can be customized too. And for the enemies, it's different too, as you can see. And the particles on the enemy actually connect, attach to them, so that they stay with the enemies and don't go away. I'm not using anything too complex. I know that there's a certain problems with this approach when you're just attaching like a default Unreal Engine decal system to the mesh. Like, you can see it kind of slides sometimes, as you can, because it attaches not to the mesh itself but to the bones. But I decided that it's a minor problem. What I'm trying to do is um, maximum value product, minimum, no, yeah, MVP, right? Most value product in the shortest, in the realistic time frame. And I know that there is ways into painting directly onto the textures, but it just it just requires like too much time, too much hard work when this kind of already works as needed, you know? Okay, another system that I've created is flashlight. Finally, there is a flashlight in the game. Now, uh, uh, the major inspirations for the flashlight system were the Half-Life 2 and the Doom 3. Um, now, why would I take inspirations for the flashlight system? It's just a flashlight, right? It's a very intricate thing that could impact the feel and the feel of the game, right? And the whole like the interaction with the world. Um, for instance, let me and it's still. I'm not saying it's perfect now right now and it's finished. I will still do some twinkering because I want it to be. So right now it more resembles the Doom 3, the Doom 3 flashlight, which is but just like a basic flashlight that is attached to the player, but not too basic. Like it doesn't really works as a real light source, right? As you can see, it doesn't get too much brighter when you come closer. and the shape of it kind of stays the same. Now, I kind of achieved that effect um, with putting the flashlight um, f- not not very close. Let me show it to you on the character mesh, on the back character blueprint. So here is my flashlight component, and as you can see, it's kind of in the back. It's not in the front, right? And it's kind of on the side, because what I saw is that when you put it directly onto the front of the head, let's say here, or uh, it creates this unrealistic and strange feeling, like you're looking from the point of view of the light, which is not something that you're uh, used to in real life, right? Sometimes it's either in your hands or some other place, but it's not directly from your eyes. So I've had to put it in the back so that when you come close to the walls, it doesn't get too small and it doesn't like collapses. It doesn't collapse with the wall. It's something that I took from the Doom 3. The only problem that I see is that it still acts like as a real light, which is not the game dev is about. It's the game dev is not about the realism, but it's about uh, let's say f- it's about the practicality, right? It's about the player experience, and giving him let's say the most valuable mechanic that is possible. So as you can see, the light here has this illuminates everything, like even from the far away, right? Like it doesn't get dimmer on the far objects. It kind of has this like threshold until which like its luminance is the same, and after that threshold, it just like cuts down. And if we can see similar thing with the Half-Life 2 flashlight, and I think like flashlight like Half-Life 2 flashlight is probably like one of the best like flashlights I've seen ever in the games. Uh, because again, it doesn't lose luminance that much on the distance. As you can see, like it illuminates evenly, like even going further, and you can't just achieve that in the Unreal Engine with like making the light itself like bigger, or its attenuation like radius bigger. Uh, so I'm still trying to figure that out, like how to get that effect, because like let me show you the problem that I currently have with my flashlight. Um, so in this area specifically, it's like a just like a smaller corridor that I will probably have like a lot of in my game. So as you can see, there is this like there is this area which contacts the lights on the side, right? But because the front is so far away, you don't really see the flashlight in the front, as compared to let's say the Half-Life 2. You can still like um it's it works almost as a mesh, not as a real light, because like there's still like a filter of luminance even on things that are far away, right? So maybe I can show it. Wait, maybe I can show it somewhere here. Yeah. So look at here. See, it's still kind of illuminating, uh, even like the far away things, even like not in a direct way, like it's illuminating the project. It's illuminating the object. It's illuminating the picture. Like it's almost like an overlay on top of the picture, right? Like to the same with the with the Doom 3. Like even when it doesn't directly contacts um, with the object, where the object is like out of the reach of the flashlight still illuminates that space between the object and the flashlight, and that's what I'm trying to achieve too. Um, I haven't figured out yet how to do that. I'm thinking about maybe adding a mesh, some kind of a mesh plane with the light together. Maybe that will help, but we'll see. Another thing with the Half-Life 2 flashlight is it's kind of genius actually. So, and I discovered it just like recently, super recently, when I was replaying it to get the reference for the flashlight, is that when you get closer to the object, flashlight stops moving forward. Like it has this certain certain radius, not certain radius, but like certain how do I say it? It doesn't allows like the flashlight doesn't comes near too much to the object, like it stops moving, right? So you can see it, right? You can see it here. So when I move to the wall, at a certain point, flashlight stops moving and kind of stops scaling. Because if it would react realistically, then it should have become like much smaller when I came closer. When let me demonstrate it here. So when I come closer, it becomes smaller, and that is realistic. But that's again, that's not what the game's about. 'Cause the game's about making you feel good, not about giving you realism. And I'm I have ideas about how to achieving that. Probably adding some kind of a hit detection, adding a spring arm that would that has a collision detection. So I'll probably implement that also, because again, when it comes closer, because another problem is that it's not only becomes smaller, but it becomes so bright that it's just like unpleasant. Another thing with the flashlights, it's their energy, the energy flashlights. Both Doom 3 and Half-Life 2 have very similar the energy system for the flashlight. So it's not really a survivory kind of flashlight, like in survivor horrors, when you need to balance the usage of the flashlight so much that you need to like find the batteries and stuff. Like it's almost like its own like survival thing around the flashlight, right? It's like a resource management. It's more the reason, the purpose of the flashlight energy in the Doom 3 and Half-Life 2 is more just about so that you don't overuse it too much. It kind of reminds you that when you don't need to, just turn it off, Or if you just will boom around and not seeing effect of the flashlight, after some time it will just turn itself out, because it still uses some it uses the performance, right? The light, the flashlight is a dynamic light, and it uses the performance. So you don't want in the lit areas, you don't want the flashlight to be working. You want the flashlight working only in the dark lit areas when there's not so much lights. So and when it's lit, you want less performance usage, and for that you kind of want it to turn it off. But you don't want to turn it off automatically, because it's gonna take away the agency from the player. And that's why there's this tricky energy system that it depletes very slow, right? Because you can see that both in the Doom 3 and Half-Life 2, it depletes very slow, and just enough so that you can go through the dark lit area, and it regains the energy very fast, so that you don't have to like do this balance thing, like, oh, do I need to use the flashlight now, or do I save it for later? So it's a very clever thing. If that they have done, and it just like gives a bit more like an agency. Like if it was just like infinite, again, like it would be a performance thing. Uh, yeah, I think because the primary thing was performance, but also like you want to give some kind of a um, not realism, but like a the agency around what your players like ability work, because like if it was like infinite, or it wouldn't like turn off at all, then there would be like no value of using it or not using it. You know, like you could just like turning it off like on and on again, and you just wouldn't care about it. But when you see that it has some kind of an energy, and it depletes, even if it goes back very fast, it still kind of gives you this. I don't know how to call it, like this a layer, a layer of connection between player and the game. I don't really know how to call it. There's probably a term for that. Maybe not. I'll have to seek for it. But yeah, I think so. That's it for now. Oh no, there's actually one more thing. I've been experimenting with the color grading and some style for the game, mainly through post processing. Let me show you something. So I'm gonna turn this one off, and I'm gonna turn this one on. Yeah. So I've tried to use like a reduced color palette using L L U T LUT, basically what it's called. Let me show you. Where is it? Okay, here is it. Yeah, color grading LUT. I'm trying to reduce the color palette to kind of get that. I think he's called Mike Lubnika, the guy who made the Boxers Roulette. A little bit of that aesthetic, not much, like just a little bit, because I don't want it to have like this full specter of like this high-end effects, color, tone mappers of the Unreal Engine, so that it stands out a little bit. I added some noise because I've seen noise used in the Doom, and I've recently played in Indiana Jones, in the new Indiana Jones, and I kind of liked it. I added some chromatic aberration. What else? I haven't added vignette. I don't know if I want to add it or not. The problem with the LUT that I'm currently using, it's not very good with lights, so I'll probably need to tinker with that more. And also, I'm taking inspiration from the inscription in the first section where he is in the forest in this old guy's house. Yeah, and I think that's all for now. Thank you for watching it through. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, share, comment. I don't know. Okay, thank you. Have a good one.